Keith, Gage's Garage. Check it out. Look, I got my son helping me today. He might be filming. I'm gonna make him do all the dirty work. Anyway, we're working on the Honda Odyssey. Good old trusty Honda Odyssey that I've been doing a million videos on. Today the water pump's leaking. So if you know anything about these Honda Odysseys, you have to take the whole timing cover off to get to the water pump. And while you're there, this thing has 200,000 miles on it. We've done the timing belt once on it. Supposed to do them about every, I don't know, let's say 100,000 miles. I don't know. So it needs another timing belt. So while we're in there doing the water pump, we're going to do the timing belt. So I have the whole kit. I'll show you right here. All right, so we have it right here. Funny enough, it's an AC Delco. Which is weird to me because AC Delco I use for all the GM stuff. But let's put this on the ground. You got the water pump. And I just probably broke it. Okay, and then you have your timing belt. Timing belt tensioner. I think this is the idler pulley bearing. And then another tensioner. I think actually this is the tensioner pulley. Yeah, this is the idle. This thing hits it, and then you have the gasket right there. So whole kit to do this change. I'm gonna need some special tools probably. I'll show you those when I get to it. First thing is we need to get the car in the air and take the passenger side wheel off and whatever plastic junk is in the way, and then just start taking all of the, you'll see, timing cover and all that kind of stuff. Also, I got to rotate the crank so the timing marks are in the right spot, so I'll show you that also in a minute. All right, let's get over there. All right, so what we have to do is take, there's all these screws. We have to take this whole plastic out. This whole plastic thing is all the way around to here. There's another screw here, and then there's a bunch of these things here, because we need to get to see what's going on right behind here, and this is all one huge piece. So that's what we're working on, getting this out. Then we can see what's in there. I want to see if I can get some on the crank bolt. See if I get some on the crank bolt, and let me get the special tool also. Spin the crank over to make sure everything's lined up. And once everything's lined up, then I know I can just start taking everything apart. So I have this here. Let's show it right here. This is the special crankshaft socket for these Hondas. Put this on the crank bolt, and put this here. Actually, this goes into the crank and holds the crank. You put a breaker bar in here, and then you can go in here and get in the nut on the crank, and you can hold the crank and then back the nut out. You should use this. The other way to do it, put an impact on the crank bolt, and maybe that'll loosen it up. Usually not. That's why I have the tool, because I had to buy it because I couldn't get it off. So this holds the crank while you can get that bolt out. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be using this in a little while. All right, well, here we go. We got this whole thing out. You can see everything now. A bunch of dirt in there. Might want to take that out. But you can see there's a crank. That's the, so you can see it has this, whatever that is, hex. That tool goes in there and holds the crank because the pulley's shaped like that. Yeah, so it's leaking water. You can see a little bit of water right there in that bolt. And really on this side, the only thing I can think of that's leaking would be the water pump. And timing belt needs to be changed anyway. We're at 200,000 miles. So, I gotta take all this lovely stuff off. I thought I'd be able to see some timing marks, but it's not happening. right there. Right there's a little cover. I can pull that cover off and see where the timing mark is. There should be one. Well, you can't see it on the other side. You know, right behind here. There's another one. To see where the cams are. But let's get it down lower, and I'll start ripping. I'll start ripping stuff off. I got to take pretty much that whole side of the motor apart. Anyway, let's get to work here. Taking off the motor mount. Okay, that one worked. So we're taking the two top. We're taking all the bolts off that are on the top. Oh, you got it. All right, just dump it right here. Bolts on the top. So we're putting all the bolts there on it. We take off the top in this cubby hole that they provide. Got it. Nice. All right. Take this. That bolt right there. See if that bracket comes off. I don't know if it will. There might be some more stuff we have to take off, but it's loose, right? There's oh my gosh!
What?
Oh, we just opened another can of worms.
What happened?
Opened up more worms.
What happened?
Is there a bolt that goes through here? Where's the flash? Let me see this flashlight.
What?
God,
that rubber part?
That motor mount shot.
Uh-oh.
So took the two bolts off the bracket, and this is like all sloppy.
Yeah.
There's a bolt that goes through it. I'm trying to. Right, see my thumb right here? There's a bolt that goes through. That's why it won't come off. But this isn't supposed to be like this. It's not supposed to be sloppy like this. Oh man, is it just a nut? So that motor mount shot. That means probably the other ones. I guess I'm just gonna order all motor mounts, and I'm gonna it's gonna be a new video of how to change motor mounts.
Yay.
So there's another bolt on the front. I wonder if we even have to take it off. Probably not, because we just have to take this bracket off. But we have to lift it up in the air and get to that. We need to take that part that's attached to the engine. That has come off.
Yeah.
But also that motor mount part has come off. Usually this is stuck there and it gets in the way, and I don't think it's going to get in the way because it's all
loose.
This will be rubber inside here. That's obviously gone. That's why when I was taking the belt off, and the whole engine was moving. That's why. Okay, let's get it up in the air. We'll take off the other cover bolts. So just leave all this, like I said, this is the stuff that sits on top. Turn this light off to save the battery. And let's lift it in the air and get the other ones off. All right, status. Luckily, I got the crank bolt off by just using the impact wrench, and it pulled off. Still haven't gotten the crank pulley off. It's getting there. I'm slowly pulling this back and forth, and it's wiggling, and it's coming off. It'll come off eventually. It's just taking a little while. Got the belt tensioner off. So there's a bolt up here, a 12 mil down there, and then it came off. You have to leave the bolt inside of it. This bolt right here, make sure you're gonna put it back in. Get that in there, because you can't get the bolt in once the pulley's up there. And then I'm just going around the plastic cover, and I'm taking off all the 10 millimeters. I think there's some buried behind this crank pulley, so you need to do that. Then I got to pull the tensioner off. I got a surprise. Just wait. I took a sneak peek of the belt, and got 200,000 miles on it. The last time I did the belt was about 100. You're gonna be in for a surprise and see what this thing looks like. There's a little peek hole. I'm trying to show up over here. What is? Oh, okay. That's. I don't know why. I don't know why you would want to. This is for one of the pulleys. I don't know why you would need a hole for that. Oh, I guess you could. Oh, you know what? I bet you can take. If you just take the two top covers off, you leave this cover on, you can get access to that bolt, and you can take that pulley off, or that bearing, whatever's right there, and then you just slide it in from the top. Anyway, also I got this bolt off up over here. Just fucking zooming in again. Right here, the bottom of the motor mount. There's a couple more I got to take off, but that's going to be from the top. Yeah, I gotta get this pulley off. And there was another plate, and I missed some. I gotta see what else I missed on the cover, and we're getting there. Disassembly is almost done. And yes, I have AC in the shop. It's still hot outside. I bet you it's, I mean, I feel cool air, but if you look at the roof, there's no insulation on the roof. It's 83 in here. I have insulation. So it's metal building, it's like bubble wrap insulation, and then around, all the way around, I put plywood. I think it's 3/4 inch plywood. I can't really remember. Yeah, it's pretty thick. It might not be 3/4. Whatever, thick plywood. So that insulates it a little bit, I think, but mostly I put that plywood there so I can hang shelves and stuff. Anyway, this isn't a shop thing. But, you know, there's no insulation on here. So, it still gets a little warm. A lot better than being outside, but still a little bit warm. Anyway, I'm going to keep getting to work. Alright. I'm trying to get the motor mount off, but can't. So I took... How do I do this? I took the power steering pump off. There's a couple of bolts underneath it I need to get to. So, gotta take it off. This is disconnected. I'm just gonna have to move this around so I can get under there. There's a bolt I need to take off so I can get the bracket that's attached to the engine that the motor mount's supposed to go onto. So that's what I'm trying to get off right now. Little sneak peek of the belt. Okay, anyway, we'll get back to that. Yeah, so I just gotta get this out of the way. There's a bolt underneath it I need to get to. Can't really even see it. Here we go. Right there. Directly underneath the power steering. So, and there's probably another one. For some reason, I think there's one. Yeah, there's one that goes. Zoom back out, please. There's one that goes from here all the way into the block, and then you have to get it. I don't know how you get it. I'll figure it out, but it goes this way through the whole mount. I have to get that out. I think that's where I have to take all this stuff off to get to it. No, it's right. I don't know if you see my hand. Right here, I can feel the bolt head. So there's not much room right there. Take that out, and then that whole bracket should come out of the way. I got the other cover off on the other side. I just have to make sure everything lines up. And hopefully, when I take the belt off, it doesn't move. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's lined up. There's a little notch right here, there, and it lines up right there. And in the back, you can't see, there's a bunch of wires and stuff back over here. But I have to double check the back one too. And then also on the bottom, I gotta make sure the crank is in the right spot. But you can see all the goop down there. Haven't even been able to get to the water pump yet. But getting there. More disassembly. Be right back. Okay, so we got the motor mount out in about, I don't know how many pieces. It's like 3 or 4 pieces. All this is just falling apart. And I found this piece. I don't know what this goes to, but definitely a piece of rubber. It's very heavy. So I don't know if it's a piece of metal in here covered in rubber, but it ripped somewhere. I can't figure out where it came from. Look at this. So I'm not going to put this thing back together without putting another motor mount in it. So I'm going to have to get that. Yeah, so motor mount sits like that. I'll show you what we had to do to get these stupid bolts out. 3 bolts that hold this thing in, and a little bolt on top of there. That's for some bracket. So there's a hole down over there on the other side, and then there's a hole right there. So you have to move this hole. We took all this junk off to get this is the ECU. There's 3 bolts to hold this on. 1 here, 1 over here, and 1 underneath. Now, since we took the liner out, it was easy to get the 1 underneath. You can see what you're doing. We also loosened this bracket. It's held on somewhere else. One more bolt somewhere or something. I don't know what's holding it, but we just needed to get it out of the way. This was held on right here, right here, right here, and then if you could see down inside there, there's that slide. There's a hole right there. Slides in, and we took that one out too. That was kind of a pain. Anyway, so we got all this stuff off. All this, so we can get to the bolt that is right here and here to get that motor mount. The motor mount off. Try and get this out of the way. This won't move. You won't move. And then you could unplug all. I don't want to unplug everything. And I don't know if I showed, but I got the power steering out of the way. Power steering pump was over here. I shoved it underneath the AC line so I can play with it a little bit better and get some more room. Now I got to get these 2 bolts. Actually, you could probably see this one if I get this out. So this is an all-day job. Don't think you can do this in a couple hours. It's going to turn into a couple-day job because now I got to get parts. There's the bolt. Let's see where. Right. It's right there. And there's another one. All right, let's get those off. Okay, check this out. Right here, leaking. You can see it's like built up right there. Leaking. Look at this. There's actually a drip right there. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. But besides that, yeah, definitely leaking. Definitely an issue. You can't see the belt. The belt is shot. I'll show you in the belt from on top, but here I don't think it looks too bad. But where it's stretched on top, it's definitely cracking. So I'm gonna take everything's lined up. It's a little. There's the dot right there is lined up straight up with the there's a line right there, so that lines up. I checked the tops are lined up, so I think I'm ready to take this stuff apart. Hopefully it doesn't turn. Take all these 10s off, take the tensioner off, and let's see what happens. Let's see what this thing looks like. Miguel went outside and cleaned it up. Looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than it did.
Yeah. Can't really get all the dirt off.
Well, you're spreading more dirt on it with your hands, but that's fine. All right, so I got this thing was a pain. This pulley, this bolt, was stripping out. This was really in there. I was so scared I was going to pull this out. I was going to come out with the threads. It's got a bunch of corrosion in there. When I put this one back in, I'm going to put some anti-seize on here. But this is a special bolt for the pulley or yeah, anyway, for whatever you want to call this, pulley bearing, whatever. So I got this out. This was, I mean, the kit comes with all this replacement. This one came out okay with no problem. That's the tensioner. What else did I do here? You can see the belt's just hanging out there now. Actually, the belt can probably actually come off if I wanted to. I don't really want it to right now. I think it's holding. It's still got tension. I'm worried that if I take the belt off, it's going to move. The cams are going to move, and I don't want that to happen. So anyway, I want to take the water pump off. I'm going to leave the belt just hanging here. No, I can't. I got to take this off right here. So the belt doesn't. Oh, just spun. It just freaking spun. That's what I didn't want it to do. So the cam's in the same spot, obviously. So something spun up top. I'm going to have to freaking move it. Darn it. Well, wish me luck getting this thing timed. Here's the belt. Might as well look at it. See the cracks in it? It's cracked all the way around. So who knows how long this was gonna last. I don't know if you can see it better over here without the direct light. Anyway, I don't know why it's not. There we go. It's like that all over, the whole thing. So that's that. I'm gonna lower it and see what happened to the cams, and I'm gonna take this water pump off. I don't know how much fluid's in here, but it's just a bunch of 10 millimeters and they come right off. And then when I do that, once this is off, I'm taking a break. I'm gonna see if I can order parts, and then I'm gonna clean up all this. I gotta clean all around here. Make sure it's not leaking anywhere else. Like, it looks like maybe leaking here around this bolt. I'm not sure. Because I see it looks like, I can't tell if it's oil. I mean, it's brown like oil. I don't know. It could be the antifreeze. I don't know. Okay, let's take that off and see how much fluid comes out. Forgot, I just wanted to mention about this pulley again here. Don't use a 12-point socket. It's a 14. Don't use try not to use a 12-point socket. I'm about ready to throw away all my 12 points because this was on there so tight it wasn't coming out. It started stripping it. So I went into my stash and I found this 6-point impact socket. Luckily it fit on there, and it fit on there a lot better and didn't strip it out. It grabbed it and I was able to loosen it. The other one, it was just this 12-point was just going and it rounded out, it was just slipping off. So you can see, I don't know what happened. I must have bought a new 15 because these are all 12s and a 6. For some reason, all of the millimeter, well, same one, the big ones here, a lot of them. So I think I might replace these sockets and just get a whole other set of 6 points. And I'll toss out the 6 points. I'll keep the 12s. 12s are useful at sometimes. I know there was some bolts I've used that had 12-point on it, so I'm not going to throw them away. I'm not going to ditch them. I still might need them. Like rod bolts. I know when I did my Oldsmobile, it had 12-point, and you had to use a 12. So they could be used if you have the right bolt. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I like the case. I like how it's stored. So I mean, I've had these tools for, oh my god, a long time, 30 years maybe. So it might be time to get an upgrade. You can see all the 3/8 drives all 6-point. For some reason on the 1/2 inch they went 12. I don't know why. Anyway, this is when Sears was selling Craftsman. They had a whole kit. All right, it's a long day. I don't even know what time it is, but I've been out here for hours. I'm gonna take the water pump off. I'm taking a break. See if I can order some parts. I need a new motor mount. I want to see if I can get some gaskets further around the timing covers while this thing is all apart. I'm definitely replacing that one motor mount. I don't think I'm going to do the other ones today or on this repair. Anyway, I'll be right back. Well, I made a mess. I put the can here and I undid some of the bolts on the bottom and then left the two on top loose. And I didn't think there was that much fluid in here. And then I cracked it open and it just antifreeze rained down on me. I got most of it. But anyway, it's going to be a big cleanup after this. Alright, it's almost off. There's like 2 more bolts on that thing. Okay, here's the old water pump. You can see it's built up there. You can look right here. There's the weep hole. Like if the bearing goes bad, I guess it starts leaking there. But you can see where the gasket popped up a little bit. It was leaking there. That's right where it was, right all over here. Yep. So here's the lesson from this. If you go back in my videos, you'll see I replaced this. This is the tensioner, hydraulic tensioner. Goes onto the pulley. This thing's probably still good. Yeah. What I'm trying to do is trying to push down on this sucker. There's no way. Because I replaced this. I don't know how. We're at 200,000 miles. I don't remember. Look in the video. 160, 180, something like that. It was making noise. So the other one was making noise. What happens is there's fluid in here. It leaks out. It busts. Seals break. Because this thing's constantly going in and out. And the seals break. And the oil leaks out, and this thing doesn't do anything. It just sits there and this basically just bangs against the tensioner pulley. Actually, here's the tensioner pulley. Yeah, you can see right here is it's beat up. That's where this was hitting, and when this was bad, it was just going bam, 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 bam. You just hear this thing banging like crazy. You can go back in my video. Maybe I'll put a link in there. But yeah, so I just replaced this, and it fixed that noise. Got rid of the noise and fixed the tensioner. It also makes the belt starts flopping around inside there, the timing belt. So at that time, I don't remember what the reason was. I didn't have time to go a whole day and take the whole car apart, and that's why I'm doing it right now. Now I'm paying the price. If I would have done it back then, I wouldn't be doing it now. Oh well. And I kind of knew I had to do a timing belt on this thing eventually. But, you know, it is what it is. We're trying to keep this old girl running, so this is what we got to do. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back and clean this thing up and start putting new parts on. And the other thing I wanted to show you was that motor mount bracket. So you have the engine, this tire is the engine. This goes here. That motor mount bracket, this bracket goes like this basically. And these bolts go through, this is another reason why I have to take this off. And it goes through the freaking water pump. So it's on it like this, and then you have the engine over here. So that's another reason why you need to take all that work just to get this bracket off. It's because you can't get the water pump off. So it's a lot of work to do all this. There's a lot of stuff you have to take apart. And if you're a do-it-yourselfer person, start on a Saturday, maybe Friday night. Because I'm doing this on a Sunday, and I don't think my wife's getting the car back tomorrow or tonight to drive it, because I need parts now, and I'm not going to be able to get the parts. We'll see what happens. I don't want to put that motor mount back in. It's a pain in the neck to take it out. It's so much easier to put one in, even if I have to go pay. Usually I buy stuff online. It's a little less expensive, I'm gonna have to probably pay up and get that motor mount locally, so I can get this thing done. And I might have to work tomorrow and put it together. Anyway, and then we got this other stuff I have to work on this thing. But this thing was a priority because it was leaking, and also that belt. Whew, that belt. We were gonna take a long trip. I can't believe we drove 3 hours away. The belt cracked like that. I don't know how bad. I mean, I'm folding it in half and it's not breaking, so maybe it's got a couple more 1,000 miles on it. Who knows? You never know. Anyway, I'm gonna get back. I'm taking a break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back at it. I had a break, had some food. Probably gonna be tired in a minute. Anyway, yeah, I'm back here. I went online, ordered from Advanced Auto Parts a new engine mount. So I have my son grabbing that. He's gonna bring it over. So when I get to that point, hopefully he'll be here giving me the engine mount, and I'll be able to put it right in. I looked online for timing cover gaskets. You know, like this little rubber gasket that's all around here. I can't find them. I did find the bolt. They sell this bolt separately, and I noticed that it has red Loctite on it. I'm like, that's or some kind of Loctite. I'm like, maybe that's why it was tough getting out. That's a pain. But back to this. And then I looked to see if maybe they have the whole cover. Maybe we'll just get a new whole cover. I can't find a new cover either. So anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna clean those up, put them back on. All right, I'm just getting the new stuff ready to go in. New pulleys, new pulleys and stuff. So this one bolt goes in there. Like I said, I'm gonna put some anti-seize on there just a little bit for next time if we do have the car for another 100,000. This here, so it's like this, right? This is the old one. This is the new one. Took the bolt off, and I notice. Look at this size of the hole difference. You have to make sure you retain this piece right here. Take this out. I'm going to clean this up, and then it goes in there. Like I said, I'm going to clean it up, and then this goes in the garbage too. So we're getting there. Almost put the water pump on already. Put the water pump on already. Put a bunch of bolts. I just as tight as I can make it with my just cranking it like this. I don't know what the torque settings are. It's probably fine. And then you got to put this on. I'm not going to pull you don't pull the pin until the belt's all on and it's all set. And then once it's all set where you want it, you pull the pin and you're done. That's the last step on doing the timing belt. But let me clean it up. I'll show you what I'm doing underneath there on the side. Okay, so I kind of have the timing belt on here, kind of. I'm saying kind of because the pulley's loose and so is the tensioner. I don't know what it looks like up on top yet, so I just putting this here. I put this on here. This is where it's supposed to be, the belt, and put this on. This holds it in place. You can see the water pump's in. I think I showed that already. So I got to go on top. First, I need to clean up this mess here. I need to clean all this up, get this out of the way. Bunch of water on the floor. Lower it down, and we'll see what's going on top. I have to get the timing belt in the right spot, get the cams in the right spot before I slide the timing belt on and tighten those other two things at the bottom. So let me clean up, and I'll be right back. This cam is still in the same spot. There's a notch is right there. Notch is right there. Lines up. And this one back here, not so much. So your notch is up over here, and the notch is right here on the cam. So this cam's got to go backwards to there. So I'm going to try put a socket on that nut there and go backwards. Hopefully it doesn't loosen. And it just goes back, and I can put it right in this in the right spot. And we'll try that out. Okay, got the stupid belt on. It was challenging because the upper left pulley spun backwards. I had to get it in the right spot. And once that was in the right spot, I put the belt on that side, on the left side, up there. On the left side. And then you need to make sure you have some slack on this side so you can get the tensioner. So up on the top one, came around, came over here. I made this sure there's a lot of slack right here. Got it on the right side cam. Make sure that cam was in the right spot. Come down, you know, it goes in on the other side of this idler. Goes around here on the bottom of the crank. And then get it on here. I left this loose for a little while till I got where I needed to, the belt where I needed to be. Tightened that one. I had one of these bolts in for the tensioner. Put one bolt in, then moved it over. You got to jiggle with it. I put a socket on this side with an extension and pulled this down. Give me some leverage. Got the bolt in over there. Tightened it. And then you pull the pin. I had to get pliers. The pin just got stuck. It straightened out. Anyway, got pliers, pull the pin out, and now there's nice tension on there. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to crank this over, do one revolution to see if there's any contact. There shouldn't be. I think we'll be okay. I just want to make sure. But I'm going to put the... Yeah, I can either put the bolt on here and crank it all around, or I can put the cover. I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cover, I'm going to put the pulley, then put the bolt on, crank it all around. Because if everything's fine, then I don't have to mess with that again. I'll just leave it. But that's my plan right now. I'm going to bring this up in the air a little bit more so I can get in here and crank this one revolution, see if we're good. All right, so I put, I didn't film it, but I put the whole bottom cover on and then spun the engine all the way around, and it went fine. And then I noticed, I'm like, there's something missing. So I had to take everything apart. You have to take this mount, this motor mount thing that goes, you have to put this on first, because this sits up here. The cover, let's see. So the cover goes on the engine like that, and this goes like that. Where is it? No, like this. So that sticks there. So you need to get this on first. And then you can put this cover on. But anyway, so I put the pulley on, I have the lower crank bolt, spun the engine over by hand, went one whole full rotation around, and it went around fine. Things kind of line up. I mean, they're not exactly where they're supposed to be, the notches, but if I turn the crank a little bit more, it will line up. So I'm pretty sure we're good there. Yeah, I'm just chugging away here and putting parts back on. So yeah, that has to go on first, and then the bottom cover, and then I'm gonna go to the top of the engine and put all that stuff on, which is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I took off, but it's like I said, this is an all-day thing, so I don't know how long this video is. I'm still working at it. Right now it's like almost 6 o'clock at night. Anyway, let me get back to work. All right, I'm back here. Tell you a little tip here. The idle pulley for the belt. If you have this thing up in the air and you're like, let me put that on, wait to get all the covers on first. All these plastic covers need to go on first, because there's, to get this cover on, the pulley's in the way, and then there's a bolt that goes right over here, right here. The pulley's in the way, so you can move the pulley out of the way. You know, I have this thing here, and I put it on here. Put this on here, and you can move it, but this was a pain. I had to pull this back, get the cover on, and then I had to pull this back and get them tighten that one bolt. So it was a little bit of a pain. Put the plastic covers on first. It's a lot of going under the car on top, under the car on top. It's a pain in the neck. I wish you could just do everything on the bottom and then come up here and do everything on top. That's what I'm trying to do. But like I said, I put this on first. It caused problems putting that cover on. So I think I got the cover on. I need to put the back cover on, which is a little bit harder. I lost a bolt, fell down in there. I don't know where the heck it went. So whatever. I'm going to be one bolt short. I might see if I can take like this one off here. It's easy until I could find that one. It's probably it fell over here. It means it's inside the engine somewhere, right down over there. All right. I'm gonna put the other cover on, and then I think I could do the power steering, and then I could do the motor mount, and then all this other stuff. And then the last thing is the belt. I'm running out of parts, which is good. So that means I'm cleaning up. It's going okay. All right. Let's, yeah, I mean, bolts are getting thin here. So anyway, I'm trucking along. I'm trying to get it done tonight. We'll see. Okay. Got the new one from Advanced Auto Parts. It is, what brand is this thing? It's an Anchor. Whatever. Cheap Chinese part. I mean, it's a Chinese part. It's better than this one, I guess. But it looks the same. The welds look pretty crappy. Whatever. Looks the same. So it's all these pieces. All right, that's fine. I still had this piece that I don't know where this came from. So I don't know where this went. Anyway, I gotta put this in. So it looks like a direct replacement. It has this weird bend on it, same like this one. So I'm sure this is gonna be a lot harder to get in because it's not all busted up. This one was easy to mess with. I'm gonna have to probably lift the engine up. Anyway, let's go see what happens. Figured it out. This rubber piece went on the bottom of here for some reason. This is the bolt that goes through the motor mount. So this goes through the motor mount. It sits like this. I don't know what that's for. Just maybe to keep this up. I don't know. It doesn't hit anything. The motor mount goes, I don't know if you can see. The hole, there's a bar in the way. That hole right there, it goes through that hole right there. This goes there. Yeah, it doesn't, there's nothing there. So I have no idea. I don't know why that was on the bottom. Obviously I'm not going to be putting it back on. There's no way to put it back on. I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to get this bolt in there, and I just noticed that. So that's why I'm stopping. So this is where we're at. Power steering pump's on. Covers are on. Motor mount. I don't know if I got that on. The motor mount bracket onto the engine, onto this bracket here. The motor mount's in. The 3 bolts on the motor mount onto the frame. And this is the last one this is the last bolt for the motor mount. And then I got to put all the little, there's like 10 millimeters for all these brackets and all that stuff. And then I think I put the belt on, put some antifreeze back in, and it'll be good to go. I cross my fingers. Hopefully, no problems when I start it up. And the timing's all still set. It's still light outside, so I'm doing well. I can see the light creeping up underneath the door. Oh, and I got to put the wheel well in. And that shouldn't be that bad. Putting those pins back in is a lot easier than putting them out and breaking them all. Anyway, almost done. I'll be back in a minute. I think I got everything. I don't have any more bolts, loose bolts anywhere. So I think we got everything in. I gotta put this belt on. I've done videos before about these belts. I put the link in the description below on how to do the belt. I'm just gonna put it on because it's getting late. I want to get this done. I knew it was gonna be an all-day project. Anyway, put the belt on, antifreeze, and the next scene you should see is this thing starting up, and then tire. You can put the tire on, and then the wheel well, and then the tire. But actually, you know what? I might start it up right now. It's a good idea. Let's try that. There's no water in it, no belt on it. I just want to see if it starts. The belt is kind of a pain to put on. So if there's something wrong, I mean, it's a lot easier for a belt to come off than it is to put it on. It's a pain in the neck to put it on. I gotta lay in there, and it's a hassle. I'm gonna see if it starts up, and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. All put back together, like nothing ever happened. Well, I did spill some water. Did I ever mention about this? You can put the hood prop. This is where it's supposed to go, right here. But it also has another hole here, a square right there, where you can get this hood all the way almost 90 degrees. It's pretty cool instead of like that. So that's how I had it set up. This there. So it's done. You know what? Let's start it up. Yeah, look at compared to there. You just push it up and you won't even have to worry about banging your head. All right, we're gonna start it up and go take it for a test drive. Okay, has 202,000 miles on it. Now when it hits like 300, I can do the timing chain again. Actually, something will go out before that. Sounds good. Let's see if it needs any more antifreeze. Oh, it's right up there. All right, open that. We're gonna go for a ride. Let's see how it runs. All right, let's see. Now let's just do a U-turn here. I don't know what the heck is all this noise. I don't know if I ran something over. See, do a little launch here. Good. Okay, now we're just gonna go for a little test drive. Oh yeah, there was something in the driveway there. I don't know what that was. thing is working pretty good. I got it done before the sun went down. Well, that's it. We fixed it. It's running smooth. Fixed the test drive. It drives fine. You know, it doesn't drive like a brand new car. It drives just like how it used to. But there's no more. Hopefully, there's no more leaks. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. But I think we tackled that problem. We saw the gasket was bad, so we're good. Another job done. This is how you do it. If you want, I mean, it took me about 8 hours to do all this from start to finish. You can do it yourself. It just takes a long time. Make sure you have a whole day put away just to do this. And luckily, the parts store had that motor mount in stock, and I was able to just slap it in there and have to wait for anything else. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to get the other motor mounts. I probably should. I mean, that one was shot. Like, the two other ones, I bet you those are a bit bad also. I don't think I've ever replaced them. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and you'll see me in the next video. I'm going to be doing something more on this Honda. Got a couple more things to do. I got more parts to throw at it. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you later.